Hello, my name is Colton Belknap. I'm just about finished with my internship. I'm doing my internship with Dick Anderson Construction. I'm in Great Falls, Montana. Um, and yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit about it, about my experiences, about things I've learned, and a couple other things. Just to get started, I'll say that I have a lot of construction experience in the residential field. I feel pretty comfortable with most all things residential, but I haven't hardly done anything in the commercial world. Um, and so I was pretty excited about this internship because I knew that I would learn a lot, and I knew that it would be something that I haven't experienced much, and it's going to be a pretty steep learning curve. And I was pretty excited about that. I was pretty excited to learn a whole new industry that I wasn't familiar with. So I was excited about that. I was also excited to move to Montana. Um, I'm from Idaho Falls, and so I've lived my whole life in Idaho, and so I was excited for a new experience that way as well. So coming into the internship, I I was pretty excited, and so I got on in the office working with all the project managers, and basically I didn't really have a set role, but there's five other project managers in the office, and and I would just kind of bounce back and forth between them, just asking for stuff to do. So I'd go ask one for something to do, and they'd give me a list of stuff that would take me 2, 3, 4 days. Um, and I'd finish and follow up and then go to the next one. So I really got to know all of the project managers pretty well. I became pretty familiar with the projects they were working on and how they did things and something that's a little unique about the Great Falls office of Dick Anderson. And I don't know if it's supposed to be this way, but um, the I'll call it the onboarding process of new project managers isn't very clear. And so the project managers in the Great Falls office are a little bit younger. The longest one that's been with Dick Anderson has only been there 3 years, and so there's 3 or 4 guys that have only been there for less than a year, and so they all kind of brought their own way of doing stuff from other companies, and then they've kind of all merged together and put it together with the Dick Anderson way. So I feel like because of that, I was able to learn a lot of different techniques on um, everything, the submittal process, procurement. Um, I did a lot of bidding and takeoffs and things like that, and so um, I, I was everything with that type of stuff. Like I guess the paperwork side of it, the management side of it, is something that was all new to me, and so it was really fun for me to not only learn about it, but to learn several different ways of approaching it and what works for this one but doesn't work for this one and vice versa. And so that was really fun. I was also pretty heavily involved with. We've done 3 different bids while I've been here, and each bid I kind of have gotten more involved and more involved and more involved. Through the bidding process, I've also been reaching out to contractors, subcontractors about getting the work done, and so I've made a lot of relationships with subcontractors here as well, and that's been a really rewarding process. Um, I think my biggest key takeaway, my biggest skill that I've learned is how to effectively um, complete the pre-construction phase of construction. In residential construction, the pre-con phase was pretty minimal, but with these big commercial projects, Dick Anderson does anywhere from $5 to $50 million projects. They average about $15 million a project or so, and so a lot of paperwork that goes into that, and a lot of prepping and just getting everything ready. And I had that was all new to me, and so I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed feeling like um, I was paving the way for this project. and I could pretty drastically change the construction process and the outcome of this project because of the pre-construction steps that I was doing. Um, in doing all that, I also learned a lot about bidding, and we did some T&M bids, and we did some GCCM bids, and then just today we started on a hard bid project, and it's the hard bid is obviously a very different approach, and so now I'm still learning about the bidding process and about the pre-construction process, and that's been super rewarding for me. I think another skill that I've learned and that I'll take with me throughout my career is just um, plan reading skills. I spend probably 60-70% of my day deep into plans, and some of these plans are 250, 300 pages, and we use Bluebeam for plan reading and for takeoffs and things like that, and I, I'm getting more confident in my takeoff ability. I'm getting more confident in my Bluebeam ability, and that's something that I think is gonna be very beneficial down the road. Um, there's a few things that about the company that maybe are I don't want to say bad things, but I've learned some good things, and I've also feel like I've learned some bad things, and a couple of those is not necessarily with Dick Anderson specifically, but with different types of personalities that I mesh good with, and different personalities that maybe I don't mesh quite as good with, and so it's been fun to see how I'll work in an office environment and to rub shoulders with superintendents and laborers and things like that. We had the company Christmas party, and so it's been, not that those are bad things, but um, those are other things that are new to me, and I'm learning how to just simply work in an office and work with other people. Um, but an example of something that is, I guess, not as good about this, something I learned that is bad, I'll say. I talked about the onboarding process not being very clear. Um, the president of the Great Falls office, he's a very good project manager, probably one of the best I've seen, and he's not quite as accepting of um, new ways to do it. He still does all his takeoffs with paper copies of the drawings, and he prints off paper copies of the spec book, and so he's not very open to that, and because of that, I think it hurts his relationship with some of the project managers. So that's something that I noticed that maybe I would change if I could, but um, not to say it's bad. The office morale is still very good, and everybody gets along really well. But um, I just wanted to include maybe something I didn't like as much um, in this video, just so that it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies. I think the long and the short of it is that I'm really grateful for this opportunity to work with Dick Anderson and to rub shoulders with all the managers there and to learn their way of doing it and seeing high level construction. In Montana, Dick Anderson is one of the best of the best, and they're growing. They just bought a company in Arizona, and they're growing. They've got several offices here, and so just the experience here is something that will stick with me through the rest of my life. I am hoping to receive an offer from them. I've talked with the vice president, and it sounds like I will get an offer. Haven't seen it yet, but um, hopefully it will come. And so I'm excited for that, and I'm just glad that this is part of the construction management program because um, from a school standpoint, this has been probably the most rewarding thing that I've done. So I'm really glad. I'm excited for what's to come and what's to come of this specifically. So, yep.